Friday, August 23, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. I start out with the stock market indexes, and we've got a lot to talk about here. Some major signals that we almost got bumped out of this morning, just missed by ticks, but that could be the beginning of that move down toward the October lows. And then I go, of course, to futures, and there's some important stuff happening there as well. All right. Yesterday, we had an outside down day in several stock market indexes, and most of them were overbought. Therefore, my automatic code turns the color red because of the combination of a custom relative strength index hitting overbought conditions and a slightly customized bearish engulfing Japanese candlestick at the same time. Today's rally came extremely close to stopping us out, but we are still short, currently trading a little higher, slightly uncomfortable with this. I want it to close below yesterday's low ASAP. I'm hoping and kind of expecting that it'll do it today. We've already started a two-way at the lows, and currently there's a little bit of a bounce. Let's look at the short-term chart. This is the 1 minute E-mini. As you can see, just a little while ago, about 20 minutes ago, we made new lows for a few hours. The highs have been starting to come down. I think that's going to continue, and hopefully it'll get below yesterday's low and stay there to start to confirm that yesterday's signals starting to work well. Spider, also bearish engulfing yesterday, overbought conditions, slight loss on the trade momentarily. This had SPY, a head and shoulder top. First shoulder, we got the exact high of June 20th, dropped off for a few days, not much, but shoulders don't drop off too much on a head and shoulder top usually. Anyway, close to the top of the market, but unfortunately not quite, and dropped off. The last shoulder was a bearish engulfing, but it wasn't a sell signal because it was not also overbought. That's also not uncommon. Broke out to the downside the next day, and oh my God, the next day it got to its minimum downside objective and then started in oversold conditions to rally again. And here we are, another bearish engulfing involving overbought conditions, and people are going to start to talk about a double top. That is going to be significantly bearish because you measure the lowest low here, which was about 510, to the top, 565. That's 55 points below 510 for the, give or take a little, downside objective if it turns out to be a legitimate double top. And I think there's a good chance of it. Next, the Spider short-term chart on the 5 minute. Yesterday's short scalp rode it to the close, which is almost the low. You can see the green line. Did a very good job. I altered the kicker slightly before today's show to emphasize that this is definitely something that it can be done automatically. No way, if you had the right kicker, of course, would you need to touch anything. The other condition, short position, ER1 overnight, is a small loss at the moment, and you can see it's bouncing up and down with the current quote from the same entry price as the scalp ER1 yesterday. So I'm hoping it's going to turn down below right here, and that will turn the line from red to green. If it keeps going down, it'll be green. So we have had a little bit of a loss, but look how close it came to yesterday's high. Unbelievable, only a few ticks away. That would have caused a lot of problems. Because it opened above the previous day's stop, we have something called gap code, which takes care of this many, many times, and I think it's about to do it, turning a losing trade that otherwise would have been stopped out with a loss into a profitable trade. So let's see how this turns out. Really have high hopes for this. Oh, another comment. I don't see any particular reason why you wouldn't want to go short now, because it's above the original short sale price from yesterday. And nothing has happened that would have stopped out the original position also. So next, QQQ. Outside down day yesterday, bearish engulfing. We got the high of the rally so far. Currently relatively close to the low. No problems. ER3 even kicked in this morning. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Loving it. Next, we got QQQ on the 5-minute chart, or actually this is the 1 minute. And this morning, this is the ER3 trade I'm showing you. We went up and hit the trigger price from yesterday's activity and got short. So for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, the trade was losing a little bit, and then it turned back up and stopped us out of our scalp, which made money, past tense. The same entry price for the ER1 overnight is still holding the trade. Stop hasn't even moved darn bit whatsoever. That, my man, is the automatic trailing stop for the scalp. Notice how we started to trap a profit ASAP. And it worked out. Okay. Now, yeah, I wish we were still short, but look, it turned to a loss again. I don't like turning a profitable trade into a losing trade. Next. This is good, looking good. I'm expecting new lows very soon. The NASDAQ had an outside down day also. Please notice, we got the top of the market on July 11th to the exact day. We rode the green dashed line, that trade all the way down to offset on, I believe that's this day, August 6th. Maybe, no, I think it was actually August 5th, which turns out to be the low day, but we didn't get the low. A couple of days later, we got a buy signal. We rode that all the way up until yesterday's bearish engulfing, got out of our long, and we are now short all in one day. And we're short also today more because of the ER3 getting hit on the rally. And here's the chart for that. There's the rally, almost exactly the high of it. And this is our current position. Looking very good. Next, we got on July 18th, the top of the YM Dow Jones Futures. We also got the high day on May 20th, and we also got the rally high day on April 1st. Oh yeah, we got the low day on April 19th. Oh, I'm so sorry. We just missed by a little bit the low day on August 8th recently, with another backup buy signal after that. Currently, yesterday was a bearish engulfing, but not overbought. Therefore, we did not have a signal. Thank goodness. We did make a new high today. But what happens if today we also have another bearish engulfing? I'm going to love that. It certainly implies the market is going to go down as far as I'm concerned, and it'll probably break below the support area, which so far is holding a little bit. But we are up 264 at the moment, so kind of wish it would turn down right away here. Looking at the 5-minute chart, I really wanted to come down below 4685, 681, the low of yesterday. That would make me very, very happy because all the other indexes would be doing about the same thing around the same time. But not yet. Okay, the Russell, very strong. The Russell is not acting and does not act quite like the other three major indexes, Spider, Dow, NASDAQ. So, or S&P, Dow, NASDAQ. So it's strong today, but it's very close to overbought and at the top of a resistance area here. So I wouldn't be surprised if it started to turn back down also, but it wouldn't be for the exact same reasons. And the Russell 5-minute chart just basically got up there real strong and is sitting around up there. It might be topping out. Bonds. You know that I'm looking at this from basically two standpoints. If this head and shoulder bottom, and that's the neckline right there, is the proper formation, and so far it is doing okay. That means you got your upside breakout late July, big rally, retracements, good, not the best. You know, it's only about halfway back, which is adequate to the neckline. But now this rally seems to be floundering. And if I'm going to continue to support the story about a bullish head and shoulder bottom breakout and we're on the way up to at least a minimum upside objective of, 140, great. Except we have a low in October of 22, which I'm not including in this particular pattern I'm talking about right now. But if that low in October of 22 and the low again October of 23 matches another low, which looks reasonable coming up in a month and a half, right around here, testing still the neckline I'm referring to, then we probably have a double shoulder, head and shoulder bottom covering 2 full years. This will be part of the formation and a second shoulder. That's obviously the bottom, the first shoulder, and maybe coming around October, the next and second and last shoulder low. For now, what will be a much bigger head and shoulder, time-wise and depth-wise, and the upside objective will rise up several points probably. But again, I'm going to have to see some significant price movements to drop that story or be talking convincingly about the current bullish. And that's what we're looking at. That low, and these lows in here for the last shoulder. All right. 10-year notes. Yep. Same story. I won't belabor you on that. Let's go with crude rallying off a support line. We're coming close to the bull trend line. We're in a big pennant, kind of between a rock and a hard spot. I'm waiting for signals. Natural gas could be forming a bottom if it were to start to rally immediately, but we're getting a little too far to the right and we're getting a little too low for that last shoulder low. Neckline would almost be, it could be. Just wait. Let's see what happens here. Heating oil dropped down to a big support range, got oversold, and starting to bounce today. And now it's a new high for 3 days. So if we get a little more bounce, and I'm not bullish, this is a bear trend. All I can do here is say, well, it's going to bounce up to maybe 2.4, 2.5. There's a lot of resistance. So 2.4 to 2.4 and a half. 2.45. Okay, gold, platinum. Nope, gold, silver, platinum, copper. Then beans, oil, meal, corn, wheat, cattle, hogs. Here we go. I am not particularly fond of this rally today in gold. I was kind of expecting with the big break it had yesterday and a soft close that we would follow through today on Friday, but we're not. We did get a touch above yesterday's high. It was right back up here to a little resistance area. Could stop again and start to make new lows again, which would make me very happy because that's what I'm expecting. But there's no signal here. It's just my opinion at this particular point. We don't have any bearish engulfing. If today it were to all of a sudden go below yesterday's low, then we would have an outside down day and we would have a red sell signal. But it's not even close. So I don't know. Maybe my opinion is wrong, but I'm going to wait for something definitive to happen for maybe probably another 1 or 2 days. Silver's rally is acceptable, even a little bit more. The head and shoulder top here is still very much in play. We went down to a low, and of course, we got a buy signal on the low day. Perfect. Rode it up for a few days. If you had a slower trailing stop, a kicker, which you could very well use if you're a little bit longer term trader, then you would probably still be long, which would be great. But I am a swing trader to a scalper, so my perspective time frame wise is not necessarily long term, but obviously I do talk about it. So I'm bearish to the tune of 24.00. The minimum downside objective on silver. Platinum has the same formation. It's got the same timing. We did sell the high day on platinum. The high day was a bearish engulfing in overbought conditions. Fantastic. A long-term investor would probably still be sitting on the trade. Swing traders, probably not. And scalpers, well, we had a scalp for 1 day and a swing trade for 2 days that did okay, nothing great. But the bigger picture is we're going to go down, if this works, to 808. 807 area. And today's little bounce doesn't mean anything to me. I'm just waiting for new lows, or if it starts to do something I don't like, I'll talk about that for sure. Copper. We got two buy signals just recently. We're almost high and last, not quite for the day. It looks like we could have a new high closing price for this move up. And these two buy signals are working on the average, but we had a bit of a dip yesterday, and it did come down low enough for us to take a profit. We got stopped out, and we're now flat. But nevertheless, the two signals are pretty good at the bottom. Next, today, brand new, we've got a bullish engulfing in soybean oil. Is this out of place? Looks like it might be. Yeah, it should be. Okay, soybeans first. Sorry about that. Move that over. Okay, beans got oversold. Have come down close to those lows, but seems to be holding okay. Now, if this is going to be a little bottom, and that's exactly what I would call it, little, then what are we going to get? 1017, 1037, and on the outside chance something bigger builds as a bottom, maybe up to 1104. Long-term bear market, not showing any major bottom situation as yet, but a couple of weeks are brooding here of stability. All we need to do is start to make a new high on a closing basis, and I'll be talking about that rally coming to pass. Right now, maybe, because it's a long-term bear, it could still fall apart and make new lows on a closing basis any old time now. I'm not sure which is going to happen, but I'm still very bearish in general. Oil. Today, brand new bullish engulfing did get slightly below yesterday's low, and now currently trading and staying there above yesterday's high, well above the previous day's close. We're up 136. Pretty decent rally. New highs for several days. Was oversold within the allotted amount of back looking time. On the 16th, oversold the bottom day. Okay, brand new trade, brand new signal. Where are we going to go? Well, unfortunately, a lot of resistance is around 41. So I got to watch that. But hopefully it'll get all the way up to 42.60, and that'll be okay. I can't really honestly tell you this is going to be the beginning of some gigantic bull move. Too much of resistance overhead. The trend is still down. It might be part of something bigger later, but nah, today, okay, I'm long. Meal. Support held in oversold conditions a couple of weeks ago. We had a second test. Okay, good. Rally, minor new highs. Settled back the last couple, 3 days and not doing any damage. I think it has a little bit more elbow room. Maybe it'll come up to about 17, 317. But really, we've got all these lower highs and lower lows and only a support area to hang on to. I simply can't get bullish. I think it's going to make new lows relatively soon, and there is a slim chance of a little bit more of a bounce in the meantime. Next, corn. Okay, testing major support. This thing just doesn't have the strength to do much at all. Three buy signals have worked a little bit or not at all, losing a little bit. And it can't seem to get started. Now, yes, it's at the bottom of a support area where it was a week ago, and that held. But here we are again, and we're not showing any bounce signs yet. So if it does turn around, then I'll be talking about a minor double bottom at support. But the trend is your friend, and this is down, down, down. Next chart, wheat happens to be the same damn thing, and corn looks like it could do exactly what wheat did just yesterday. And today we're slipping even more, down on the day, another 5.25. So I got nothing here. That line I'm going to delete. So buy signals didn't work. Maybe made a little bit on the scalp side. Maybe not. No damage done, even though there were four. They were all small losses. But I can't tell just looking at this right now whether they made money on a scalp. I can tell you oversold conditions, new lows for a long, long time period, years. Yep, that's the beginning of the war back there. 3/8/22. We got a sell signal on the historic high day after the wheat market screamed limit up bid, closing limit up several days in a row. And the high day was one of my signals. Pretty happy about that. Also back in here as well, top of the market on that rally. Huge long-term major sell signals, but we don't necessarily know that in this situation, i.e., I would have been screaming bloody murder. The overbought conditions is so rare, it never happens, but it did. 92. All right, so are we building a bottom in wheat? Not yet. Next, cattle. Oversold. Bounced off support a little bit. Could rally a little more. Basically, I'm still bearish, looking for lower lows. Miss Piggy. Big bullish engulfing yesterday and follow through today, closing in good shape yesterday and really following through today completely above a resistance area. Now it's going to be support. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this come up to 84.5. And I don't know, it could challenge the previous highs at 90. So now I'm definitely friendly, looking for a little more of a rally. Not overbought yet, but very, very close. So we got 1 or 2 more days up before it flips back to support, which is 90, 79 and a third. Back to the E-mini. Where are we going here? I guess we're bouncing a little bit more. I'm not too concerned as yet. No, I think it's going to turn back down. Crossing my fingers. You guys have a profitable trading day and profitable trading to you. Great weekend. Bye-bye.